Every now and then I'll do an unbiased review of a product. Now, either one of two things happen. It's either a company will find me and offer me a free product in return for a review, or I proactively make contact with a company because I'm interested with their product and I want to test it. One thing I make clear with all these companies is that I do unbiased reviews for my subscribers, for my followers, and I point out the positives or the good stuff about their products, and I also mention any negatives or any suggestions that I have to improve the product. So today I'll be testing this brand new pressure washer from a company called Vic Off-Road. They're based in Victoria here in Australia, and they've recently released this brand new pressure washer in their product range. So they wanted me to do an unbiased review, test it, use it, see what I think about it, and see what else I can suggest to maybe improve their product. Even if you're not based in Australia, it might be worth sticking around, because halfway through the video I do mention some what I think might be good improvements for the product. So you may use this information when come the time that you pick a pressure washer for yourself. One of the first things I'll test with these sorts of products is how user-friendly it is. So I unbox it, lay out all the parts in front of me, and see if I can figure out how to put it all together and start using it straight away without having to read the manual. And in this case, I was very happy with it. I was able to unbox it, lay it all out in front of me, figure out which piece goes to where. I've managed to assemble it, get it all ready, very user-friendly. Don't need a manual for this, pretty straightforward, and bang on, straight away you're ready to go and ready to use your pressure washer. One thing that caught my attention is the hose is pre-rigged. The hose is already spooled on the reel, which is awesome because we have a gurney, and the first thing that we had to do was put the hose in the reel, and as easy as it may sound, it was pretty challenging. I love how the product is compact. It's pretty small in size, it's pretty lightweight. The other thing I like is the fact that the hose is 10 meters long, so it's more than enough for what you need. So there's a couple of vehicles I want to test this pressure washer on. One is the Mighty X-Trail, which is super overdue for a wash. And the other one is my work truck, which is pretty much overdue for a wash as well. Now the work truck hasn't been cleaned for a long time, so I had to scrub it. And I noticed that the rod is pretty sturdy, which is good because you'll find that you'll always have to press against road dirt and grime to be able to remove it with a brush. So I'm pretty happy with how sturdy the rods are. I tested all the attachments, so pretty basic, really pretty standard for your pressure washers. You got nozzles that spray, that's got adjustable spray. You've got a rectangular brush that you can use for scrubbing. This one's got the floor tool, which you can use for scrubbing driveways. In this case, I tested it on the truck's tray. The thing I noticed with the hose release trigger is that it's got a safety feature wherein if there is some sort of water pressure in the line, you won't be able to press the trigger and release it, which is pretty good. That way you don't spray water all over your face. The amount of accessories that come with the product is pretty sufficient for you to do pretty much any sort of cleaning or washing job. I find the actual water pressure of the unit to be pretty good, and most importantly, I think the product is sitting at the right price point. I'll put a link in the description below that points you straight to the website of the company, and you'll see more information about it and the price as well. Now let's move on to the things that I think could be improved in the product. It's the actual floor tool. I used it on the truck's tray, as you can see. And the first thing I notice is it's pretty awkward, and I figured that it's more of the fact that the floor tool doesn't swivel on the rod, so you gotta have it on this on this perfect angle to be able to scrub it on the floor. Now the other thing is the bristles on the actual floor tool I find to be a bit short. So what happens is, as you scrub, because the bristles are short, you tend to just compress the bristles easily, and then the spinning anything in the middle that sprays water then bottoms out and hits the floor. So you gotta angle it perfectly, and you gotta, at the same time as you go backwards and forwards, left to right, you gotta also put the perfect pressure so that the spinning thing that sprays water doesn't bottom out on the actual floor. With a rectangular brush, I find that as I push in and scrub against different surfaces, I end up hitting the plastic, the actual plastic head on the on whatever I'm pushing into, because I think the bristles or the brush is just on the soft side, and also it's there's not a lot of them to hold the pressure that as you push in. So I think a good idea would be to have a brush with harder bristles, as well as maybe a lot of bristles, or maybe a bigger brush. So as you push on the dirt and grime, you won't compress the brush too much and end up hitting the head or the plastic of the rod or the brush up against your car and end up scratching it. And the last thing I think that could be improved is the size of the soap bottle. I think double the size of what it is now is gonna be better. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this pressure washer. It's sitting at a very good price point, and it's being sold by a good, reputable Australian company with good warranty as well. Thanks for watching, guys. If you haven't yet, subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.